Welcome back to Live Skills Math Jr. We're really glad to have you back with us again. Today we are going to be talking about a really fun and interesting topic, and that topic is interest. So we have Oreo here today. Oreo has decided he wants to be the star of our show because he's very interested in interest. So he will be the star today. But you might say, what is interest? So there's lots of different things that interest can mean, but we're talking about interest in terms of borrowing and lending money. So in this context, interest can be two different things. It can be the money you pay to borrow money or the money you pay to lend money. Okay, it can be both of those things. Whether you're loaning money or whether you're borrowing money, you either pay or receive interest on both ends of that. So why does Oreo need to understand about interest? I mean, he's a cat. What does he need to know? Why does Oreo want to use interest? What interest can he possibly have in interest? Well, if you remember goals and you remember Greg, our old buddy Greg, and Oreo's buddy Greg, interest can help us to reach our goals. It can help us to get certain things. It can help us to give and share things. So there's two general uses for interest. So in this case, we have Clem here, and Clem needs some money to buy some catnip. Clem doesn't have enough money to get some catnip, so he needs a loan. He's going to approach both Oreo and Greg to see if either one of them is going to loan him some money so that he has enough to buy some catnip. Now, when you're borrowing money, you also have to pay it back. So Clem borrowed some money for the catnip from Greg. You can see Greg having a little schnoozle there, but he had to pay it back. He also had to pay back extra in the form of interest. Interest is that extra bit. It's what makes it worthwhile to loan someone money. So Greg benefited from this because Clem paid him back the money and a little extra. So when you do borrow money, then that is something called debt. And debt is another topic that we're going to be talking about a couple videos from now. So be ready to be back for that one. So on the other side of the coin is Oreo wants to save for retirement. He wants to be able to retire one day and have lots of time to snuggle up with Greg. So how can interest help Oreo? So Oreo can earn interest. This is the opposite of getting a loan and having to pay interest. When you give out your money, you loan it to others, or in the case of putting it in the bank, which is really loaning the bank some money, you can then earn interest. So you can do it with a savings account, you can use it with special things called GICs. There's lots of other different investments and ways you can earn interest. But the point is that when Oreo puts his money into these things, he earns interest and he gets more money. So how does interest work? Okay, so Oreo is going to start off with one little cat kibble there. All he's got, one lonely little cat kibble. But Oreo didn't eat that cat kibble. So the point is, if you don't touch your cat kibble, if you don't touch your money, you put it in a place where it can't be touched, you don't use it, or in this case, if Oreo doesn't eat it, what happens? It grows. If you don't do it, then the interest grows, the cat food grows, the money grows, and you have savings. What started out as one little kibble is now a nice little pile of kibble. And because Oreo was patient and didn't eat that kibble right away, when you are patient and you don't spend your money right away, it will grow, just like Oreo's food did. And that is savings. So Oreo has accomplished his mission today. Oreo has retired because of all the savings he was able to put away by not spending his money. So now he is retired, and you can see him. He is on his very favorite heater. There's a little bit of heat coming out there today because it's still a bit chilly here. And on to another day. We're so glad you joined us to discuss interest today. Here's the little things. I always like to include some action steps. You'll note usually there is some sort of worksheet in the comments for you to do, and sometimes I'll explain it for you here. So in this case, interest. Here at Live Skills Math, we want you to use interest to help you. What are two ways you can use interest? What are two ways that Oreo can use interest? Next, think of one goal you have right now. Remember Greg's goal? What was Greg's goal? It had something to do with food. How could interest help you achieve your goal? And think of one goal that Oreo has right now. How could interest help him to achieve that goal? And then, finally, what is one action step you can do right now to help you use interest to achieve your goal? Now, it might be something simple like going out and getting a savings account so you can start getting a little interest on the money you put in the bank. So, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Start making interest right now, just like Oreo. We hope you've enjoyed our video, and we hope you are going to use this idea and make sure that you have a lot of interest going for yourself so one day you too can retire.